we'd have some enforcement rules ready to put in place so that we're not putting something in place with no kind of enforcement behind it and then putting a committee in a position where they have to come up with something that's problematic, you know?
So for clarity's sake, you're asking that instead of the enforcement provisions that I've already taken out, that we enforce, or not that
We amend your
require,
motion
that we require that they enroll in a smoking cessation program
and complete.
of their choice,
Of
yeah.
their choice.
Choice that we have.
Enroll and complete.
I accept that.
I'm good with that.
Okay, so we're amending the motion to now say, to now be that we require employees that smoke, we require that they attend and complete a smoking cessation program of their choice. Is it Supervisor Ball? Okay. So the motion on the floor has been amended, as so indicated. Roll call.
Supervisor Carroll.
No.
Supervisor Elias.
Aye.
Supervisor Miller.
Aye.
Supervisor Valadez.
Aye.
Chair Bruns.
Aye. Motion carries 4-1 with Supervisor Carroll voting nay. Now moving on to item 4, medical insurance for county employees. And Mr. Huckleberry has recommended in his February 12th memo under Table 1, alternate proposed rates for the PPO biweekly at employee only of $60 instead of $108.68. Employee and spouse is $138. Employee and child is $135, and employee and family is $197. This is different from the rates he proposed in his February 10th memo. What's the pleasure of the board on this item?
Madam Chair.
Supervisor Valadez.
This one's a difficult choice because of what we've heard in terms of the concern for our employees, which is why I have asked the questions in the discussion that I've asked in terms of the effect on our employees. Let me try this. I move that we approve item number 4 at the alternative proposed rates of Mr. Huckleberry's memo of February 12, 2015 with 2 additions. First of all, that we, for those that transfer from the PPO to the HEHP, that up front they receive $500 so that their starting point is not 0. And then obviously that staff figure out how that needs to be done. And that all departments be required to allow employees to go to informational sessions on their health care. Because that's simply, if that's happening, that's unacceptable. And that direction has to come from this board.
What about requiring that staff go to the employee, to the department and host? Or,
I don't understand your point.
well, I just, getting them to come, it's not always easy if we're only, it's just access. It's an access issue. If they have to, if they work out.
I think Mr. Bolzoni has a comment.
Yeah.
Madam Chair, if you-
To avoid enforcement, we could make it mandatory for PPO members to come to a mandatory meeting in order to go through open enrollment to get enrolled for next year.
But, yeah, and I understand that, but it's like, where do they work? And when you say you're going to host a program, are they going to be able to get there?
Our programs go on the road. We go
Okay,
all
fine.
over the county to present these programs. So
Okay, fine.
there shouldn't be a logistics problem with them getting to one.
Okay,
Okay, but they both be required to attend, and their supervisors be required to allow them the time to attend those,
paid.
paid. That's my motion.
Okay. And the tobacco surcharges are off the table because of our last vote, just so everybody understands.
That's
right?
correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was the question, Madam Chair?
Oh, Mr. Huckleberry, we did not, on the tobacco surcharge issue, we did not vote for tobacco
Yes,
surcharge.
we did. Check
We
the
did.
record, option number 3. Yes, we did.
But provided if they complete a smoking censation.
Right.
Okay, yeah, that's just what I want, that they wouldn't have to
Right.
be subject to the surcharge.
No, we said all our employees
No.
are gonna do that, but this year we're not employing those services.
No, we're not enforcing. Remember, if they go through the smoking cessation program, they don't have a surcharge.
Because the whole problem with the surcharges, frankly, is how you enforce it. And that's where the problem really lies for me.
But we said that they have to attend a mandatory, so the surcharge is essentially off the table.
Correct.
Okay, I just want, did you, because Mr. Huckleberry looks dubious at best, that means he's gonna go do whatever he wants. So, maybe we need to make this clear in
Is that
this motion.
unusual?
Yeah, it's not, that's why I'm saying, we need to make this clear, so that Mr. Huckleberry understands what the will of the board is.
We did put option number 3 in place, however, with the amendment that everyone will be required to do the smoking cessation program, it essentially goes away.
We're requiring them to do it, we're mandating that they do it and complete it, and if they do that, there is no surcharge.
Yes, Madam Chair, I'm fine with that. It's because what you're saying is everyone has to actually attend and get certified that they completed. And at that point, then these surcharges that are in option 3, which are bigger than the surcharges in my later memorandum, will not apply.
All right. Supervisor Valadez.
I believe I have a motion.
You have a motion. You want to repeat the motion? And it's been, yeah, you did second it. And just repeat it so we know what we're voting on.
The motion was to approve item number 4 and the alternative proposed rates on Mr. Huckleberry's memo of February 12th, 2015, along with the $500 upfront on July 1 for those employees who are switching over from the PPO to the HDHP, and a requirement that all employees that are enrolled in PPO both be required to attend, and that supervisors on paid time allow those employees to attend those sessions.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Roll call.
Supervisor Carroll. Supervisor Elias. Supervisor Miller.
Aye.
Supervisor Valadez.
Aye.
Chair Bruns.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Okay, we move on to item 5, procurement on finished business quarterly contracts report. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move approval?
Second. Motion and a second. Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 6, negotiated settlement. I'll move the item.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. Item 7, resolution 2015-9, community development and neighborhood conservation, resetting aside 2004 general obligation affordable housing bond program funds in the amount not to exceed $769,518 for the West End Station affordable housing development.
Move the item.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. Contracts and awards. Item 8, community services, employment and training. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move approval?
Second.
Motion and a second to approve. Any objections? I object. One objection. Supervisor Miller. Any further objections? Motion carries 4-1. Items 9 and 10, emergency management and homeland security and school superintendent. What's the pleasure of the board?
Move approval?
Second. Motion and a second. Any objections? Hearing none, motion carries. That brings us to the end of today's meeting. And without objection, this meeting stands adjourned.